What's going on, guys? My name is Trevor. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm sharing with you my review of 120 Bahadur. Was really looking forward to this one. Finally was able to see it. These are my non-spoiler thoughts on the movie. Before I give you guys my thoughts, let me know your thoughts on 120 Bahadur down below in the comment section. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What did you know about this movie before going in? I'm about to get into all of that. Hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell. We're trying to hit 5,000 subscribers here on the channel before the end of the year. And let's get into 120 Bahadur. So, a little backstory on me before watching this movie. I seen the trailers. I was really excited. I had no idea that this war even took place between 120 Indian soldiers and 3,000 Chinese soldiers. Had no clue that this even happened in history. And it's not something that here in the United States we learned about. There was no recollection of my history classes in high school where we learned about this. So to find out in this movie that this was one of the most forgotten wars is absolutely insane. And the fact that this is based on a true story and this actually happened is even more insane. So I went into this movie very excited. I had lots of high hopes for it because the trailers really sold me. It looked like a different movie than I was expecting or maybe even used to coming out these days. It looked like a war epic that was going to really knock my socks off, and did it? Well, let's start off with the positives. And kicking things off, yeah, for the most part, this movie really knocked my socks off. They give you these characters that are very easy to get behind. They give you this lore of where they are in the war and how really they got to this point. They really do a great job of explaining it and setting the scene. The score in this movie, I'm a big sucker for a good score. I'm a big sucker for music in movies. This is one of my favorite scores of the entire year. I'm not saying it's going to get nominated for an Oscar, but would I be mad that it did? No. I love the score. I would say it's probably my favorite part about this movie. It's riveting. First 5 minutes of this movie, it sucks you in. It brings you right in and it's like, this is really what you're going to get into. From the first 5 minutes, they lock you in with this score, and they really just dive you into these characters and where they are. What are they fighting for? How is this camaraderie going to work? Who is going against each other? They're fist fighting in the beginning of this movie. It almost seems like they know that the doom is coming and what exactly is lying ahead of them, that they might not be in the best position that they could be at the moment. They kind of do just a great job of setting the stakes, setting the tone, and putting you in the position with these soldiers. They do a lot of flashback scenes, and you really find out what these guys are fighting for. Who is back home waiting for them? What is it that is driving them to live, to survive, to fight, to make it through this? And they did a really good job of painting the picture between the sides. I mean, they gave a lot of even almost backstory with the Chinese soldiers and how they definitely were the enemy from this movie and the way they portray it. So they did a good job of painting them in that picture. They did a great job, again, bringing this band of groups together as guys who are from all different parts of India and guys of all different worlds in their own right, bringing them together. And the way they did the little backstories on what these guys are fighting for, I have a little bit more to say later in the review, but for the most part, I enjoyed it. I thought it was very unique. I thought it was very different. And then when you get to the war, to the actual battle between these guys, I mean, it's chef's kiss. It really picked up. I mean, that second middle hour, middle of the third act, really picked up and really just kind of strapped you in your boots and carried you along for this intense journey. You're sitting there gripping your seat, just not knowing who's going to live, who's going to make it out, and how they're going to get through this because they are so outnumbered. 3,000 to 120. The story itself is insane. This movie itself is absolutely epic. And when they got to the war, that's when I found myself very immersed with the movie. I found myself really relating to this movie, really going, now this is what I signed up for when I went into this movie. This is kind of what I was expecting, maybe even a little bit sooner. We'll touch on that just a little bit later. I thought that when they got to the actual battle itself, it was brilliant. It was so well done. How much of this actually happened in history, if it all happened, my mind is completely blown. A lot of positives on this movie, but let's hop over to some negatives now. These, at the end of the day, are just little nitpicks I noticed with the movie, things that I didn't absolutely love that the movie did. Number one, I would say the first hour is really slow. It takes a long time to get going, and at times I found myself checking my watch going, when are we going to pick this up? It's only a 2 hour and 17 minute runtime. A lot of movies from India are almost 3 hours, and this one at times dragged a little bit for me, and especially in the beginning hour, it really kind of dragged its feet. I understand they're really giving us a lot of backstory, giving us a lot of lore and a lot of world building almost. It just took us time, just almost maybe too much. When they go into these flashbacks for these characters and kind of who they're fighting for, and they go into these memories of them, I thought they were really well done, but I thought almost they overstayed their welcome. At times it felt like they were going on for 5+ minutes, where I was going, maybe took me out of the movie just the slightest bit, that these flashbacks and kind of who they're fighting for really kind of just almost went on too long. I thought they were really unique. I like the songs they played. I thought it was kind of almost beautiful how they filmed it. I just thought at times that this needed to be like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. It felt like it was really pushing it. And again, kind of like checking my watch, like, how long is this going to go on for? And the final thing, this is just a nitpick I have with a lot of movies that do this. I don't care for showing a scene later the first couple minutes of the movie. A scene that we'll eventually see again later in the film. In the beginning, that's a nitpick. I don't know if a lot of people like that or don't like it. For me personally, as a very big movie fan, I don't care for that. A lot of movies do it. I just find it unnecessary. And when it opened with that, it felt a little bit cliche. I was like, that's the route we're going to go with this. We've seen this time and time again. And a lot in war movies, it's something that feels like the tale of its oldest time. I don't really care for it. That's just one of my bigger critiques. I don't care for that. It's the first couple minutes. Is it that big of a deal? No. I just almost get annoyed with it anymore because we've seen it so many times. And I feel like this movie kind of felt formulaic with the way it told its story almost. I mean, the beginning with having like a later scene shown, but almost kind of going, okay, this guy's going to be our hero. We're going to kind of put him through the trenches a little bit. We're going to show that he's going to have a very heroic ending. And the way that it was shot and told, just the slightest bit, felt formulaic for a war movie. At the end of the day, nitpicks, things I just noticed, things I observed when I was watching it going, I felt at times I might have seen some of this before, but at the end of the day, 120 Bahadur delivered when it got to the action. I just think it took its time just the slightest bit to get there. I still enjoyed this movie quite a bit. Several times I laughed. I had a good time with it. It was an insane, historic epic that I didn't really know anything about, and I ended up enjoying this movie. Not as much as I thought I would, but I still enjoyed this movie quite a bit. Was hoping to go like a 4.25 out of 5, but I'm going to go a solid 4 out of 5. An 8 out of 10. Could be a little lower, but I'm comfortable with the 8 out of 10. I enjoyed this movie. I thought it was really well done. I thought when they got to the action, it was a very, very good action war movie that I could watch again. I could recommend to lots of people. I think it might have been just the slightest bit formulaic, and I have a couple of nitpicks in there. But at the end of the day, that's just someone who likes to talk about movies. Gotta talk some nitpicks, but I really did enjoy this movie. Gushed about it quite a bit. Going 8 out of 10 for 120 Bahadur. That's going to do it for my non-spoiler thoughts on 120 Bahadur. Let me know your thoughts on this movie down below in the comment section. Hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell. We'll be having a review for Durandar, hopefully in the next couple of days. I'm hopefully being able to see it tomorrow or the next day at the time I'm recording this video. Fingers crossed we get there. Thank you guys so much for watching and all the support. We're trying to hit 5,000 subscribers here on the channel before the end of the year. Your guys' support would mean the absolute world. Tell a friend, neighbor, family, whatever you got. Subscribe to the channel. Absolutely mean the world. Like button, subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching, all the support. 120 Bahadur. What did you think of it? Let me know down below. I'll see you guys in the next one.